Yeah, he's I looks like he was checking on fishing licenses and whatnot.
Yeah, of course.
All
Is your
right.
spot up here? It's pretty nice, man.
Yeah, my nice little, it's a law firm, you know, it's out in the, away from everything, nice and quiet. It's
You know, Sandy and Grapeseed area always did have my heart since the old days. That's kind of where everything got started for us.
wait, what do you mean? Was it?
We used to go camping up here. With the RV and all that. And
Holy shit. Oh man, those were good fucking times.
yeah, me and some of the old boys sitting up on the mountainsides up there with some hunting rifles, acting as binoculars. Keeping an eye out. It was a good time.
Oh my god. That is, those
The
are
deep
good
cut,
fucking
that's what we
times.
call that.
You know, with
Indeed,
every
it was.
sorry,
I said, indeed, it was.
it was. I felt like every harvest, every time it happened was the risk and the reward was just something else.
I mean, I got to experience both ends, right? I got to be there for the harvest, and then I got to be there for the farmers market. With the purple guys. You remember that?
Yes. Oh my god. You know, I got sick of that whole thing eventually.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a long-term scalable solution. At some point, you have to move past it.
Yeah. I think the number of times the city fell over while I had a trunk full of the candy.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my god.
I remember my heart beating out of my chest when we did a deal over at the what was that, the Polito docks with those guys, and we were carrying that duffel bag full of 500 grand. And back then, I don't think anybody understands exactly how much money 500 grand was.
Oh. We're dealing with fucking
I mean, that
multiple
bought,
people's bank accounts.
Yeah, that could have bought the Roosters Rest 10 times over back then.
Yeah. Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah, apologies for calling you from my main line, but if anybody asks, just say I called to ask you to convince me why I should vote.
Fair enough. I think from here on forward, though, if you can't reach me, you can't reach me.
I'm just going to buy burner sims.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I already bought 10 of them today. Just, keeping them on the side just in case I need to call you. Call you once with it, burn the thing, use another one the next time.
Word of advice: those sims, they can't be easily recycled. And if you don't know this, tapping a call is a lot easier than you may realize.
As long as you stay moving, it's not as easy as they'd like it to be, but yeah. And that's why I never call you from places where I frequent. Today I called you from the Cubby in Little Seoul.
Oh!
I never go there.
Might have been surrounded, unbeknownst to you, by the besties. Live down there nowadays.
Yeah, well, I've got a good relationship with them.
Oh, good. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure that I, OPSEC, all that stuff.
Okay.
Try to operate as tightly as possible whenever I speak to you, but.
So,
hence being dropped off, kilometer or so away, making the trek on foot. Saw the cop there with the car, waited for him to leave, made sure he left, and then came out,
So what do I owe the pleasure to? Is that the
Nothing.
phrase?
I just wanted to catch up with you and let you know
Yeah.
that seeing me that day was not a one-time thing. I've been around every day since.
Really?
Tried to reach you by payphone each day, but unfortunately, like
Do you
I said,
have my number?
I do. I called you with it.
What the fuck? Did it ring?
No. The payphone gives me an error and tells me you're unreachable. It's some automated voice.
Oh. You have to make sure you only put the numbers in.
Yeah, I tried that and it still was was funky for me, but you know, maybe I'll give it a couple more tries.
What the fuck?
Oh, also regarding burner sims not being easily recyclable, unless someone plans on diving down 200 meters out in the ocean, you know, maybe a mile or two out in international waters, I don't think I have any concern. It's not like I'm chucking these things in a dumpster somewhere.
No, of course. You know, I figured you've always been pretty good about cleaning your tracks, so.
Well, I learned from the best.
I know there's some matters that I do want to discuss with you at some point when the time is right.
Yeah, maybe just not now. But, you know, I just figured I would show face again and let you know that I am around and I am interested.
Very good. The world moves so fucking quickly. So nowadays it's so hard to be in control of your own goddamn life that
I guess timing was good though, right?
The timing was very good.
I mean, given that it's the last day of the election, I figured, you know, maybe give you a couple days to do what you need to do regarding this, and then once we check the results, we can get down to brass tacks.
Absolutely. How's Eve doing?
She's doing great, man. You know, just focused on building out the house again after what happened. She had mentioned to me at some point that you had done a delivery of bricks and cement bags and all that, and we appreciate that.
Yeah.
You know, one step at a time kind of thing. Lucky for us, it's not exactly like the guild is poverty, you know, level. We bit of real estate tycoons up there, and
really,
I mean, we own, I think, cumulatively 13 properties or something.
Jesus fucking Christ!
I mean, that's not including Delver, who owns the majority of pretty much all of Grapeseed, I believe.
Yeah. I'm more aware than you may realize. Those 10 properties went to Mumbles and then subsequently the Delver, and I don't think anyone's going to be keeping track. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which is strange. It is quite strange. I mean, he didn't really elaborate to me, but he did mention that specific detail that Mumbles had transferred them to him. Unbeknownst to him, I believe, at the time, just transferred them to him.
Oh, my God. Well, technically, it belonged to the county as a means by which they would be able to generate some income for new housing. But
yeah, so my understanding is he uses it to house businesses and the like there, and he actually gives them kind of like grants and things like that. That's what he told me. But
yeah. Which I've heard it's going well. Princess has been pretty pleasurable to work with.
That's the one ballot I did not fill out, by the way. Obviously, it was easy to check your name, but I figured I'd run it by you and ask you who in your best interest should I vote for Blaine County.
You know, I've been very back and forth. I started by saying let the people decide, right? Because if I put my finger on the scale, I'm sort of doing an injustice to everyone.
Absolutely.
But then things happened, and I realized that law enforcement is much worse than it's been the worst I've ever seen it, ever. And hearing what Marty had to say, I started to back him pretty publicly for a little bit, only to realize afterwards that I do not want to end up becoming what I hate, which is somebody that stops people from being able to express themselves in the future. So I've
I mean, we're nothing if not a democracy, right?
Exactly that. I mean, no, even some of the business I think we got into way back when, and even after that, I feel like at some level it was always a means to an end, but that end was, you know, in some way to help others, protect them, you know?
I mean, absolutely. We had an entire restaurant staff, guild, Pegasus, everybody to feed, you know? We had to do what we had to do.
Were you ever part of the late night shenanigans?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you mean in the Pegasus days, or?
Yeah, we were literally law enforcement.
I mean, me, Miles, Denzel, Harry rolling around in a 4-door, pulling up on people acting like shitheads. You know? Yeah, I remember.
I don't think we were shitheads. I think most of
we pulled up on people that acted like shitheads.
Yes. Brother, I
We would go
remember that
check those
one
hunters in the
guy.
hills that were stocking box trucks full of pelts and
Mm-hmm.
that kind of stuff. Just setting them straight, scaring them straight, as Miles would say.
I remember that this one day we pulled up on that truck dock, the truck area, by the storage facilities.
When we used to do the old deliveries.
Yeah.
You and I had that's how we met. We bonded over the fact that we found kind of a meditative process every morning of doing a couple deliveries to 24/7.
Remember one day some guy was like giving people trouble. I think they were trying to hold up some truck folks. Fucking shot their ass down and ended up busting their fucking mouth open on the sidewalk, if I'm not mistaken. A little bit of American History
I remember
X.
this happening, and I think everyone there unanimously agreed we didn't see anything. You got in your truck and continued to do deliveries. So.
Oh, man. It's soft power that's respect right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jesus.
I mean, I think like, have we done some morally or ethically questionable things in the past? Yes, but I would like to believe that at our core we do it for the right reason. At least I've always thought that that's what I was doing.
I think so. I mean, I don't think greed was ever on any of our agendas. No,
honestly, Pegasus was kind of like communist paradise. We just made sure everybody was looked after equally. Much to the, dismay of the seniors, They always felt like they deserved a bit more, and I think that's what sowed discourse to begin with.
Who do you mean?
Oh, I mean, I remember, I think it was Harry at one point would complain that he wasn't being broken up like a bigger piece, and
that had merit
about money, and
yeah, that is. I mean, there was some merit to it.
Sure, but
yeah, I remember in relation to everything, it was one of those things that, look, there's just not enough to go around when you chop up the pie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, it's like you got food, we had a roof over our head, and we were taken care of, we were protected, we had family. I mean, at the end of the day, maybe I've always set my sights short, but like I said, cash poor is something that I'm not, but I don't seek luxuries in life.
You are right, though. Yeah, Miles especially. I think that was actually... You know what happened to him, right?
Yeah, he OD'd on heroin and fell off the top of the Pegasus building. Or, at this point, I believe he maybe, I think everything was a choice, and I was mad about it for a long time.
I think you learn really quickly that good things come eventually, you know what I mean? You don't want to move too fast, you're going to end up fucking spraining yourself.
Absolutely, I mean.
But, how are you and... Go ahead.
How are me and who?
How are you and Michael doing nowadays?
Oh, we're great. I mean, still pretty much my brother, but nothing brings me more joy than to tease him to have to live amongst the peasants like everyone else.
I haven't seen him around all that often, I'm be honest.
He's in Japan. He'll be there until the 7th.
Really?
Yeah, he had some business to attend to.
Oh, shit, okay. Till the 7th?
Yeah.
Like next month?
Yeah.
Holy shit, has he been away for a minute?
Yeah, he's been away since pretty much the end of last month.
Holy fuck. Okay. I've been working with his brother Nick down at the whole air setup. The Simone Industries helped put that shit together.
I mean, Nick is he's always more of like the, I guess, like business / architect-minded brother. Michael is the black sheep. And I was the two of theirs temperance, pretty much. That was my role.
Jesus. Yeah, there's been a lot of things happening, Trey. I think. How have things been, like, resettling in?
Oh, I mean, it's Honestly, the last time I flew back to Los Santos just to come and show my face, see the guild again, have dinner with them, talk to everybody, I was very quickly reminded of why I left here. This time, however, I don't even have to set an alarm most days. I feel like I just wake up, you know, looking forward to whatever the day brings, and I haven't felt that in a very long time. So.
That's fucking good. That's really fucking good. It's
Been talking to some great people. Our house burning down led to like an interesting scenario where we're like co-opting a space down on Fudge Lane. Just kind of how the guild is. We're just kind of rolling with things, having conversations, meeting different people. And I think for the guild, one of our important things with all of our craziness is to find people who can match that craziness to a degree. But I like that we still put on that front. You might be one of the few people who truly knows the depths of it, but we love to put on this crazy and goofy persona. But I mean, when time calls for it, that's not who we are.
no. Yeah. Yeah. Let's why would you move down the Fudge?
It's a whole thing. Basically,
Oh.
the house wasn't fully in a state of disrepair, and some people basically took the liberty of like boarding it up for us and reporting it, and it got condemned essentially, or labeled as condemned, and now we have to like hold and shit and get the foundations checked and everything, and I think they felt really, really bad about that, so they gave us their property to, like I said, cohabitate for, until we get the house back in repair.
What the fuck? Yeah, Eve was telling me about the condemned signs.
Yeah, we didn't.
Wait.
No, we were just going to go in there and handle it ourselves, but now it's it becomes a county matter.
Wait, what the fuck? Wait, so when Eve told me that it was condemned, I assumed that because there's a marshal that lives, Barrett?
Directly behind us, yeah.
Yeah. So knowing Barrett is I like him. He you gotta watch your back, right? The guy's anything
Of course.
But he's you're gonna trust him to do the right thing, right? Like by the law.
I would like to believe I can do that with officers, but we both know that's how I went
hell
down the road
fucking
that I did.
no. Oh, let me tell you.
Sounds like I'm back at the right time.
No. It's worse than it's ever been. But Barrett, he's one of the good ones, right? You know what you're gonna get. He's not gonna look at you a certain way, and then I thought he's the one that reported it. You know what I mean?
No. I think
so. Some motherfuckers came through and just fucking got the thing condemned.
Well, it was people who were involved in kind of the fire happening, and they carried guilt on that, and so they wanted to do us a favor by.
Oh,
it was like a whole thing, yeah.
You're fucking Jay and Edgar.
Yeah, those.
Did they give you the spot, the one that fucking Jay's house that got fucking
right on the corner?
Oh my god!
Apparently got raided like a week before or something.
Lord,
yeah.
Fucking
so
Jesus!
Let's just say we sleep
Christ.
there, but we don't spend much time in the house.
That is okay. That makes it that much more funny.
It is hilarious. It is a small world. That Edgar guy is absolutely a loose cannon. It terrifies me.
Trust me, I've had my run-ins with him. The guy fucking shot me.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was a whole thing with like we have a common like Tilly Winters. She's she was
I've heard the name.
She's kind of like someone I helped out. She used to be in the PD. Had a phone ran through by Slacks and 2 other detectives, which by the way just got rehired. And so I was her like attorney for the while she was trying to get retribution. Eventually joins my staff, and she starts hanging out with Edgar while he's doing like hyper gang shit, you know what I mean? And starts doing all kinds of wild shit for him. And I was like, you can't be on my fucking staff while you're doing like felonies, right? Like I got, you know what I'm saying? Like live your life, we'll still be friends, but on paper you can't be on the fucking thing. And she got mad and said some shit to Edgar that wasn't true, and him being him just
yeah, he seems quite the impulsive person.
Well, he kind of just bought it. Maybe he's got and so one thing led to another. Guy fucking blasted me in the in the fucking leg, so I end up getting him picked up. But it's old beef, you know what I mean? If you want to even call it that.
I mean, I will give him one thing, which is he's a great conversationalist. I do enjoy speaking with him, but how far I trust him is, a totally different matter.
Well, you know what I always said about trust. You know what I mean? There's different levels.
Yeah, 100%. There are very few people outside of the guild who trust entire, and that I think extends at this point. People that I know are, actively living in Los Santos might be you. That's about it.
Well, I appreciate that.
Everyone else is dead or has moved on.
You ever end up reaching Stag?
No, unfortunately. Not for the lack of trying, that's for certain. Just he's a ghost. I mean,
no, he's not a
the
ghost.
truth.
Oh man.
I mean, let's say this: like every night when I go to sleep and I dream, I still see him in my dreams. But yeah. As far as
were you two?
What, close?
Well, I don't know. Were you like fucking or something? Like,
yeah. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's a whole thing. I mean, but he's only got eyes for Jaeger, so I don't want to, like intrude. Yeah.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah. No. Stag and I were very close, and a fun fact, to this day.
Was that a joke or like actually like? Yeah.
What do you mean that he's only got eyes for Jaeger?
Yeah.
Oh, they're married.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Since when?
Like a whole thing. I mean, since like 9 years ago.
Oh, what the fuck? I had no idea.
Yeah, they got married for tax benefits, and like after a while, they just kind of like, just stuck with it, I guess.
Holy fucking shit! To
Remember
be
back
fair,
then, when we did the Nino Chavez tax law, and we had a marriage tax cuts and everything.
Oh, fuck me!
You don't remember you and me?
I've been fucking the DOJ for years. I got.
Yeah, we sat there and we reamed him out about the tax code, and we told him about the loophole about how we could create a fake business, hire on 150 people, and get a stipend from the government, and the government would owe us money every tax month.
All because we didn't want to pay him a couple $1,000s from the rooster.
Oh, absolutely. It was incredibly petty, but we made a point.
Oh my god. They got so mad.
Oh, they were furious. I mean, you pulled the guy who has always done what he can to, death by 1,000 cuts with the DOJ, and an ex-forensic accountant in the same room against a judge who has no idea about the tax laws he wrote. I'm pretty sure they're going to have a bad time.
Oh my god. They gave up taxes for years.
They did. They just, at some point, they realized it was so convoluted, and no matter what system they built, people like you and me were going to do everything we could do to break it.
Well, I mean, I've got taxes passed in my county.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You got to take that. No worries. I'm not in a rush whatsoever.
No. It's I could use some relaxation. I don't get that very often, to be honest.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's one thing that scares people about me, and it's always my memory. I have a very vivid memory for a lot of different things.
That's a good trait. A lot of people, motherfuckers nowadays, they forget like what happened the same day. I'm just like, I don't know.
Do you want a real blast from the past?
Yeah.
You remember when we were worried about bank records being tracked for transactions, and what we did is we created, as we called it, the Swiss offshore banking system, where I used to keep track of all your finances and the deals for that candy and stuff in a spreadsheet, and I would dole out the money through 3 businesses until it eventually ended up in the final
Yes!
Yeah.
I was thinking about that problem today, actually, believe it or not. It's it's
I
just
guarantee you the same system works.
Oh my god! Oh, I believe it. It may not be needed, but it should always be done.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise,
look, I mean, I've always been a proponent of it is better to have done so than to have not. Almost always.
Oh my god! Oh man, I miss those times. It's why I'm gonna be honest. Like I think that's why I came back to law. It's why I eventually leaned towards mayorship. It's just not interesting. It's don't get me wrong. Like, I never even like I fucking breathe wrong. People know I had marshals coming down. That was some nasty shit. I'm just gonna say it straight. Fucking marshals being like, "Yo, look into his past." I'm like, "What past? What, you knew about the fucking lab? What, you knew about the guns?"
The government records were wiped 7 years ago. What are they?
It was never even on their records. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So fucking that kind of bullshit. But
I mean, if they really want to look into your past, let's go back, 12 years ago, and then let's talk. You know?
Yeah, not fucking wrong. But even then, right? What was I gonna say? Fucking. But then on the flip end of the spectrum, right? Yeah, we got the nasty, but on the other end, it's just not. It's just very surface level. You know what I mean? Just not. It's not a challenge. You know, it's.
Do you want to know what I said when Eve told me you were mayor? Who better to make laws to prevent things than a criminal?
Yeah.
Who better to know the loopholes and the issues and where things slide through and where the issues lie with law enforcement than the guy who's done nothing but avoid it and stab them in the heart every chance he's got?
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I think that history is what made my life that much more difficult. Like, oh, what is he up to? What is he doing? And I'm over here trying to play nice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like I would have heard a lot more if he weren't.
It's,
But for all intents and purposes, I've heard that you've been a pretty good mayor. So
I appreciate
color me
that.
surprised.
You know what? Last elections,
we expected Max to be one, and he definitely was not.
I didn't. I'm gonna be honest. He denied my Los Santos customs, and that was it for me.
That's when you were set down the path.
Oh my god, that shit had me. Fucking. Ooh.
Yeah, I was not a fan either because I had. I don't think we were speaking at that time, but I had heard about it, and I had other people close to me that were also impacted by Max just deciding that he didn't think that person should do that. You know.
I think it was a power thing. You know what I mean?
100%. I mean,
but
it's strange that the PD was not nearly as invested in his past as a super terrorist, but they are concerned about the guy who did nothing but abide by the law, maybe in clever ways and maybe sometimes in ways they didn't like. But it's just an interesting prioritization, you know?
Very interesting. Yeah. I mean, listen, semen can taste good for different people. You know what I mean? But
But yes, it's strange, you know. I think I said it up at the bench, but the more things change, the more they stay the same, and it's refreshing to speak to someone who I feel like you and I could not talk for years and come back and pick up right where we left off almost every time.
I don't really forget about the past. You know what I mean? I've always been a strong believer that if someone's done good by you, you maintain that. You have to. It's what relationships are based on. You know what I mean? Especially.
Well, I was gonna.
I mean, look at everything around us.
About that, by the way, with Stag, you mentioned him, and I was thinking about this the other day when I was speaking with the guild. Do you know that you, me, and one other person that is dead now, a specific cat, were the only people to see him for who he is? Remember Casey? No, do you remember Casey? You're the one that hired him. You know, you had him take off the mask and be Casey with Pegasus.
Oh. Yeah, holy shit.
You and me are the only living souls that knew that was him and know what he looks like.
Wait, actually?
Yeah.
What the fuck? I'm gonna be honest, because, I've always let you guys do what you wanted, you know what I mean? So, I never really,
Yeah, I never kept
I just kind of assumed.
It was an interesting fact, yeah. I mean, that's the thing, is I brought it up. I was like, how do we know that Stag's not alive? Like, you know, and people said they have no idea what he looks like, and I was like, oh, and I didn't want to bring it up, you know.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I remember standing out front of the casino. We were working an event that was going on that day. We needed some extra drivers and security for the limos, and we had Casey because I think we were down max.
Oh my god, bro!
Come on, Casey. I mean, talked to the guy for 3 seconds, and then he pulled me aside to basically say, "You don't say a fucking thing," and you know.
Oh man, I fucking miss those times. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's the only, and I say this with all due respect to most people I know, but he's the only person who scares me, I think. I think I'm good at what I do, but I think he's better.
He is extremely persistent. And even remembering way back when he ran a shop and he ran it well, and a lot of people didn't even know. You know what I mean?
Talking about the old auto shop down at the docks?
That exactly
Afterlife
that.
Autos? Yep. Yeah, he's also somehow the only person that managed to snag a photo of Denzel murdering Batham.
Oh my god, that whole fucking thing.
That was a nightmare. Do you remember every person in the city claiming that they killed Bassam?
I remember
It just became a thing.
convincing Petey that it was me.
Yeah. Those really were fun times, man.
Oh my god. Yeah, you know what's wild is me and Pred are actually pretty good friends now.
Yeah, I liked him ever since he did what he did for us on Sanguine, to be honest. But that, again, the whole thing of like the guy, love hanging out with him and talking to him, like a lot of what he does, do not trust him even a little bit. But
Layers of trust. You're not wrong. This fucking son of a bitch, every time he gets a chance, tells me how bad he had it. You know, as mayor, he had it the worst more than anyone. And I just kind of look at him and I just kind of nod my head, thinking to myself, this son of a fucking bitch.
Yeah.
I fucking put up 95% of your
Zero
goddamn
awareness,
defense. Yeah. You know what I mean? Man, must have been real fucking hard popping Cheerios while,
I know,
you know,
man.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, but I mean, you say Stag's not dead pretty definitively. I mean,
No.
I'm certain he's not dead. I'm just positive that I have not been able to contact him here in Los Santos at all.
I think if he ever died, he'd be one of those guys that would have a some sort of like. You ever hear about those like email setups where if you don't log in, like hasn't logged in for like 30 days. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, look. I'll tell you this. If he died, first off, I'd be shocked because I happen to know. And look, I hate to deviate into this topic. If you don't believe in it or you don't want to talk about it, that's fine. But I have it on pretty much the best authority possible that he's not in purgatory. And in the past, it was revealed to us that Stag's future is that he becomes the Chicken Man. So I have a feeling that if he were to die in this mortal plane, he would not cross over through purgatory. He would either be stuck there.
Hold on.
Yeah, it's a whole
Chicken
thing.
Man? I vaguely remember. I vaguely remember the Chicken Man. I thought it was.
You know that the Chicken Man is the reason. Like, it all ties back to him because he's the reason we got that judge charged with a felony. He was the one that locked the courthouse that day.
Shut up.
Yeah, all roads lead back to him.
You're talking about the lady that was just talking mad shit? Devereaux.
The one that locked me and Bertha locked us in that office in the judge's chambers,
brother,
and called the cops on us and falsely imprisoned us. Yeah,
she hated me for years afterwards.
Oh yeah, it never went away. Never went away. Same.
And I'm like, what? You literally locked it people. You kidnapped them. Like, you don't just lock people up and be like, Jesus fucking Christ.
But it's strange because
that was a chicken. Wait, how come I didn't see the Chicken Man then? when it happened?
Well, there were feathers all over the place, but I cut the padlock off the door, and that's what she tried to say, that I tampered with government property when I was just trying to free clearly captive people in a government building. Which also, by the way, government properties are taxpayer owned. They are funded and owned by the taxpayers.
Exactly
and the
that.
citizens.
Well, that's what it was over, right? Wasn't it like they were out, like, there's something about like us bringing something up?
No, she said that I was destructing government property and tried to get me charged with felonies, but in turn,
No. What led to all
the
that?
script flipped on her.
But what
I
led
cut
to
the
that?
padlock on the door, and then she said
that's what locked you in
tried
there.
to be nice. Yeah, well, no, she tried to be nice and say like thank you and everything like that, and then took me like aside with Bertha and said, "Hey, can you follow me real quick? I want to talk about what happened." Asked us to step into the judge's chambers, and when we did, she locked the door behind us.
Oh, well, why'd you cut the padlock?
Well, they were stuck in there. They were panicking. People were knocking on the glass, like trying to get out.
Oh my God. Okay, I like vaguely remember this.
Yeah,
I remember where
so,
it was. It was that old courthouse on Carson Way.
Yeah, yep. And so we cut the padlock off, and then that whole thing happened. But it was strange to think that somehow, some way, all of this shit ties back to the fucking Chicken Man.
That is so fucking insane.
Look, I mean, I think you were around for it. Do you remember Edwin? Remember all that shit?
I vaguely remember Edwin.
You know, the fucking dude in the zebra striped suit that fucking talked about the future, crazy green hair and shit. You remember that guy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he would always show up at our fucking, like, just random times at the Roosters and, like, fucking the Guild Mansion and shit. And anyway,
I think I only ran into him, like, once.
He revealed to us that either in this timeline or another, Stag becomes the Chicken Man. So I guess, in a way, all of my roads lead back to Stag somehow.
Oh my God. Bro, those were times. Now every time I look out the window, it's either the cop shooting or some gang shooting.
I know. I was speaking with again, I think you've known this about me. I think I got this from you, actually, but I tend to keep good relationships with officers because you find that they let you off with simpler things, or that they don't search your car at a stop, whatever it is, if they have a pleasant relationship with you. I was speaking with one, and he said, oh, it's good to have you back. How have you been? I said, I've been having a great time. And he said, oh, it must be nice. I feel like every day it's just, I only deal with the bad. And I said, well, you signed up for that, Yeah. You made that oath when you became an officer.
It's what it is there's a lot of, most are good, but there's select few that are just beyond bad. I sat through a court case where a captain and a sergeant yesterday lied. Oh shit! I gotta go to court
right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to, send a pigeon my way whenever you want to have a chat.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I said, I will be around until next Sunday, and unfortunately, as of next Sunday, I've kind of got to. I don't know if I mentioned it last time we spoke. I will be gone until the 1st of July. So
understandable. There's
business
things I want to loop you into. I'll send the
definitely
the carrier.
I mean, obviously, I don't know how much I'll be able to act on it. Who knows where the city is when I come back? But I look forward to it either way. And if I can get anything done in the next week, consider me in.
Sounds good. You stay safe.
Appreciate you, boss. Thanks again.
The court case is at 6, right? All right, court case, then Brian chat. I don't think this is going to be a super long case either. Chat, I love that lawyers. It's just the RP that comes out of that building, worth every penny. Just the ambiance of it and the location.